This is a rolling boom light stand. So this guy shipped in its own packaging. I had one piece of metal kind of stick out the end, but I think everything's still in the box. They sent me this for free to review. If you wanted to purchase it, it would cost you $80. All right, so in the box we have a couple of pieces of foam, but it really is just things kind of thrown into the box here. And so we have some caster wheels, we have a couple of plastic clamps, we have this large light stand assembly, we have a sandbag, and a sheet of instructions. All right, there is a secret for getting these guys folded and unfolded. You lift these out, you pull these out and then get them caught in this catch here. And so you can do that one at a time, and you have to release pressure on it before you can do that. Once you get all three of these guys kind of caught in that little area there, then you can easily lift it up or put it back down. And when you want to lock them back into place, you have to unhook them and latch these guys back into the spot there, and that'll keep them latched in place. So this guy's advertised as stainless steel. Looks like there's some aluminum, some stainless steel. These little knurled knobs here look like they're just regular steel, as do those bolts. However, a lot of the metal here is not magnetic, so it looks like you may get a little bit of rust from certain elements, but the main body pieces look to be cast aluminum or stainless steel. All right, these casters have a sort of plasticky, rubbery tire that's a very smooth tire, very smooth rolling bearings. The body of the caster appears to be just a steel, a zinc-coated steel. So each of these casters has a double foot lock, and it's double by which I mean it keeps the wheel from rolling, but it also keeps the caster from turning. So when you unlock it, you can turn the caster and the wheel will go, but when you lock it, it's basically not going to allow that motion. So if you lock the caster, it means that you can use this to screw that guy in because this guy won't rotate. And so you don't really need a wrench at all for installing these. You just spin this guy around, and once it gets till where it's tight, a little bit of pressure on the body of the caster, will tighten that in pretty well. And then you can unlock this to move it around. Okay, so to put these down, we have to lift both of these guys all over these catches here on both sides. And then this guy can come down and we can tighten it. Now the base of this has some adjustability like a standard light stand, so it'll go down at an angle or like this, but I think you really want to kind of adjust it so these guys are somewhat level, just so the caster wheels stay kind of level. And you can see here I have one of these wheels locked, the other two are open. So if I undo that, the whole thing moves quite easily. If I were to lock all three of these, it can still slide on the floor a little bit, but it's not really going to go anywhere on its own. All right, so we have a decent amount of height available here. That is one of these two, so I can hit the ceiling with this guy. If I do this one here, you'll see I get that much more. So this guy can go up pretty high, higher than I can demonstrate in this room. And it does have a spring in the base, so if it releases, it has a little bit of shock absorbing just to keep your light from, cracking itself off if it were a sudden stop. You probably shouldn't depend on that spring, but at least it's there if you need it. So in addition to your standard light clamping point there, it comes with this stainless steel boom. And this boom has a 3/8 inch thread at that end and a 1/4 thread on this end plus the light clamping spots. So this boom here is stainless steel, although I've noticed that this top point here doesn't appear to be. That appears to be some type of just regular steel. Now the body here is stainless steel, and this bit here looks to be aluminum or stainless steel, but that top mounting bit there looks to be like regular steel. They also include this clamping bracket, which allows you to rotate, extend the boom, and it basically has holes here for various different things that you can clamp in at different sizes. So it's a pretty flexible on which way you want that boom going. So this bracket has this clamping screw here, but it has a hole there with nothing in it. So it just didn't include a screw to put in that hole. And so with this, you can adjust this guy around, up and down, and essentially when you tighten this up, it's going to lock that guy in place. So you can lock this boom basically wherever you want it to be. And so with this boom, you could really extend the height, or you could reach out over something. So you have a lot of flexibility about where you're positioning your light. All right, to give you the fully extended height here, that's it up there. Which, while not taller than the ridge line of my house, is close. All right, so this entire package, including the boom, I can pick up with one hand. Looks like it's 16.8 pounds for that entire package. The package includes these 3 fish mount clamps, which I guess you can use to hook things to the vertical boom, although they're a little bit so they won't grab around this extension boom that way, although I guess you could kind of clamp them at the front. And they include this little sandbag as part of the package. So I like the fact it's got the yellow and black stripes to make it harder to trip over. So there's a zipper within the zipper here. I can't figure out why they have a second zipper inside that zipper, because I don't know what that's for, but they have a double zipper here. So maybe that's a fancy new thing in sandbags. Yeah, it's a one zipper goes one way, one zipper goes the other way. So maybe that's a super security feature to make darn sure that your sandbags or your sand doesn't come out of the sandbags. And I guess the general idea is you would just kind of throw it over this guy. Really, I think there should be 3 if you want to be super secure. This little carabiner is junk, essentially. It won't really fit around anything here, so that's just a bonus piece of junk that they include. So it does balance on its base upright like this for storage. It's a little unsteady here. I think I'd probably want to lean it into a corner as opposed to just trust it to balance on its own there.